Hi again, everybody. Wow, air conditioning went on. Oh, it's so nice in here. I'm really into tellies. I'm finding a lot of guys are into tellies, and I have a couple of really great ones. This one is a broadcaster. All right, so it's a broadcaster reissue. For 2021, Fender took orders all the way up till December 31st for broadcasters. And we got this in as kind of the last of the series. They're like 2 years on back order. So we just got in this relict broadcaster, and it's a single sheet ash body. They have a little larger fret than you'd normally find on a Fender, which is good. And then a bit of a compound radius too. It really is a 9.5-inch radius, especially up here. It flattens out a little bit. But the broadcaster name on the headstock, and you can see that, they're not going to use that anymore. It is a limited edition broadcaster, and these will probably have high resale value in the future. Either way, any Fender custom shop, and that's the important thing on the back of the headstock, that logo right there, the custom shop logo, means this was made by one guy. Not necessarily the factory, but a separate addition to the factory. Everybody knows custom shop. Gibson has a custom shop, Fender has a custom shop, Martin has a custom shop, Collings is a custom shop. And so this broadcaster, I also have submitted for your approval this 1971 Telecaster, and I'll talk about that. I'm going to play these two both through a clean amp and then through a car Super B single 10. The car is set up to be a little gainy, but it can be clean. This is a 1964 reissue hand-wired Princeton. Anytime you get a hand-wired amplifier, combo amplifier that has reverb, you're going to be spending around $2,500. Both of these amps are about the same price. This Fender is from Fender's custom shop. It is a hand-wired Princeton. You get a not much deeper sound. So this is the broadcaster. The broadcasters tend to have the flat pole pieces tend to be a little overwound, and they have a little darker sound and more output. This, which you can see as kind of raised pole pieces on this, that's typical of the 70s guitars. They were really chasing less distortion and more crisp. But here, I'll let you hear this. Now I'm just going to play the bridge pickup so we don't confuse our ears here, but here is a 70s, a classic 1971 guitar through a clean amplifier, just the bridge pickup. Do that again on the other guitar. What I hear in this guitar is crispness. I can hear more of the high end. What you're going to hear on this guitar is really a bigger bass. Is there. The treble doesn't come out as much. These tend to be a little twangier, and sorry, both these guitars are really lightweight. Yep, on 10. So now a 1971 Tele with a little bit of gain going through our car here, and give us a little more juice. Now, neck pickup on these. '70s Teles always have a great neck pickup. That's one thing you can say about them. It's hard to tell the difference tone-wise, volume-wise between the two. There's a little more teeth there. But the neck pickup great neck pickup. Now, let me do this Broadcaster too. And these guitars, this new one, of course, is less money. It's about $4 for this. Bridge pickup. Hear that bite? Still smoother than that. That's got a different bite. Now, the neck pickup. Here's what I hear and what typically happens with Broadcaster style pickups. Anytime they say it's a Broadcaster pickup, it's flat poles and they have more bass response. It's almost accepted if you're buying, whether it's a Duncan, a Lawler, a Fender, that when they mention a Broadcaster type pickup, that it has flat poles, it doesn't necessarily follow the curve, and it has a bigger bass, more thunder, if you will, and will break up an amp a little quicker. When you're dealing with a more classic, whether it's a 50s or a 70s Telecaster, this pickup is a little brighter, a little more hollow perhaps. You can hear right away. This is really bright, and that's something you have to, fix up your amp a little bit. Perhaps you can add more bass to your amplifier. When you're playing these Teles, they tend to cut through, but that is the sound a lot of guys think of when they think of a Telecaster. Now, this guitar came to us recently, and it had a bad truss rod, so we just twisted it, it spun. We were able to get in there and fix that. It has the original truss rod. It hasn't been replaced. The skunk stripe in the back has not been replaced. And I asked our repair guy, Dave, how'd you do that? And he said, meaning he wasn't going to tell me. He's got this trick he does to fix the truss rods. So this has been in the shop for a while. The pickups are all adjusted. It looks pretty beat up. You can see from the back how much it's been played, and for me, I love guitars that have been played like this. It's very, very light. Single string tree. They did that single string tree, and it's a little more graceful. The double string trees, you can tell, are later 70s. When you're looking at other Telecasters, that single string tree is something a lot of Telecaster guys and Strats will look at, and that's a premium paid for that just because of the gracefulness. I will say you're going to have to wind a few extra windings on your G string to take care of that downward pressure, not having a string tree there. And then you do get the brightness that comes out of these, but this is a really good buy. This is coming on the site pretty soon. This, I think, is already on the site. These are two actually world-class investment grade Telecasters. This certainly more so than a new one, but custom shop stuff always gets strong resale. Bigger neck, little thinner neck, more bass, nice bright crisp treble. Both are very much Telecasters in the old-fashioned sense of the word. Here's the back of them. One done at the factory like this, and the other done the old-fashioned way, playing it to death night after night in a nightclub. On that note, I'll let you go.